This week on My Classic Car, we'll travel to Ocala, Florida for a look at a couple 70s Fords, a 73 Gran Torino and a 71 T-Bird. These babies really capture that unique 70s look, and they'll take you back to the time of love beads and bell bottoms. Plus, we'll check out a rubber install on a 67 Chevy pickup.
Hi, I'm Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning in to My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Well, this week we're down in Ocala, Florida to visit with Rick Schmidt and check out a few of the cars in the NPD collection. Now, Rick and his dad have some really interesting cars, and they specialize in low-mileage, unrestored originals. They also go after cars that people have overlooked or maybe forgotten, like the 73 Gran Torino Sport or the 71 T-Bird for sure. Now, some people may say, and why? But my answer to that is, why not?
Hey Rick, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Good to see you, Dennis.
Always great to see you. Looks like we got a 70s theme going today.
We do have a 70s theme going today.
You know, I always say the early 70s, they were wild times near as I can remember.
You didn't wear your bell bottoms.
I should have worn the bell bottoms and love beads. Because that's the feel I get with these cars. You know,
Yeah.
This is taking me back to a Starsky Hutch era. You know, it's a muscly time.
This is an era of cars that's been so overlooked and so just forgotten about through the 80s and 90s, which was really when my dad and I were heavily collecting these because everybody else was looking the other way, and we were like, those are going to be neat.
Who cares
someday,
about these?
And let's get them while we can find them, because so few people actually kept and cared for these types of cars that they're the rarest of the rare. These cars are really stars when I take them out. I get more attention in these types of cars than I do in my old GTO, for instance, or a 57
Sure, because you see
Ford.
those. But when was the last time you saw a 73 Torino, Gran Torino Sport?
Very
right?
few.
Let's talk about this baby. This again is it is an unmolested, untouched,
All original paint.
original
It's
car.
never been a part, completely original and restored car.
How many miles?
It's got just a touch over 40,000 original miles. It's a Q-Code Cobra Jet 351 4-barrel,
Wow.
which was the highest horsepower engine you could get in a Torino that year. They offered a 429, but to be blunt, the 429 was a dog.
Really, eh?
It was the Q-Code 351 Cleveland Cobra Jet that made better power, and you could get it with a 4-speed manual transmission, which this car also has.
Whoa, so
with the 350 axle.
Nicely optioned.
So this is the best performing Torino that you could buy in 1973, and in that it's black. Black was not a factory available color in 1973.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So the original
special
owner
order?
special ordered this car and paid $99
Whoa.
for the special paint option. And you can always tell a special paint car because it has the argent bumper filler.
When we were standing here, there's something I noticed about this car that I'd never noticed before. Was just how, you know, how much of a curve there is to this windshield. How, you know, most windshields are fairly flat, you'll get a little curve on the edge. But if you look at this, it's almost like a turret, the way this trim strip comes around and the window wraps around and tapers down into the hood.
It's a very radically styled car when you really think about it, and it pulls up. It's a beautiful car going down the road. I've always been a fan of these 72 and 73 Torinos. And 73, what differentiates it is it has the big 5-mile-per-hour mandated government bumper on it.
But, you know, cool interiors, you know, straight black.
Yeah,
About as
all
black
black
as it gets.
buckets and console. You see the 4-speed there.
Rear shifter.
It's got the rally gauges with full instrumentation and tachometer. It's got the optional rim blow deluxe steering wheel, which doesn't have a mark on it. It's like brand new, so the fellow must have not worn rings when he drove the car. It's just absolutely brand new. Even the carpet has the original style inserts, which are not reproduced.
And it's also interesting how it bulges out. Again, it narrows up at the roof, gets really fat there.
It's got the real
quarter.
Coke bottle thing going on with it, and a very sleek fastback style. It doesn't have very good rear view vision, but as the Gumball Rally, what's behind you doesn't matter. So,
but you know, also really small taillights for such a big car.
Yep.
And this is unrestored. You guys have done nothing to this other than clean it up.
Nothing but clean it up.
There it is, 351 4V.
Yeah, that's the last year for the Cobra Jet. It doesn't look terribly eye candy-ish to the untrained eye, but to your die-hard Ford fan, it's just a treasure trove of originality. We're still running on all of our color-coded original vacuum lines you can see in there,
yeah.
and all the little paint stripes and markings on everything is still
the ones that came
in there.
from
Right.
the factory, that were put on in the
Right.
factory.
Nothing's been resprayed or refinished. It's as original a 73 Torino as I've ever come across. Like I said, I've seen a couple restored, but I've never come across another one that's still hanging in there like this one. Yeah,
No, it's just everything. It's like it's like 1973.
It's a time capsule.
Wow. Well, can we take it out?
Absolutely. You'll enjoy driving this
Yes,
one.
I think I will. Well, let's do it.
Coming up, we'll go for a cruise in the 73 Gran Torino, but first we'll check out a rubber install on a 67 Chevy pickup in the Eggy Speed Shop.
My Classic Car is brought to you by Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance.
Hey, I got Matt Augusta from Steel Rubber Products in the shop with me today. How you doing today, Matt?
Doing great, Dennis.
Great to have you back. You know, every time you come here, I learn something. And that's a good thing. It's always good to learn something new every day.
We're going to teach you something else.
And we're going to see if I am, in fact,
Dennis in training. That's
if
what
I
we're
am,
going
in
to have.
fact, teachable. Well, of course, you guys have been making rubber products for all sorts of cars and trucks, dating, you know, from the 20s and all the way up, really up to the 90s now.
Right.
You're making the full range, even late model stuff.
Quite a wide range for all American makes.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, when you were here last year, we showed how to put seal in a back window glass of a Chevy truck.
Right.
And today we're going to look at how tough it is, or not tough, to put the windshield seal in, right?
Yes. The difference between a back window and a windshield is that the windshield had a reveal molding inside the rubber.
Ooh,
so I'm going to show you how to take it off so that you can save your reveal molding and your glass if you want to, and then how to put it back on.
Okay, Professor, it's time for class.
Okay. Through the wonderful tool called a razor, you run that between the glass and the rubber all the way down to the reveal molding leg, and that cuts that little rubber edge in there. Then you can pull that piece out.
Oh, so you're going all the way down there. You're basically slicing that away from the original piece, right?
Right. And we're going to do that all the way around.
Okay.
And that'll relieve the pressure against the glass and your reveal molding. So as soon as the glass lets off, which is going to do real nice and easy.
So with that away, she just comes right forward, huh?
Right, and then you can just pull the chrome off, and, you know, without any damage to any of that chrome reveal.
Looks like the seal just kind of falls away too.
Right.
Lift the windshield out carefully. Get that out
And
of the way.
then there's a clip in the center usually that's a slide clip that you unclip and you can take the two sides off.
And there's no adhesive or anything?
No, they didn't use any
nice.
bedding putty or anything.
Probably still want to clean the channel up before you go back, though.
You want to make sure everything's clean. If you got any repairs you need to do, that's the time to do it. Then we put the rubber back on. We put it on the new glass.
Just push it up all the way.
Everything
all the way
just
nice and
go
tight.
all the way around the perimeter. Push it in nice and tight. Then we put the reveal molding in the rubber. And
Oh,
it's
it
got
actually
a little
goes
leg.
on now.
Right. And that'll also hold the rubber to the glass. So
Okay.
when you move it, it's not going to flip out. But that rubber has, the reveal molding has a leg that has to go behind that glass.
And now it's time for the rope trick.
The rope
trick,
trick, right? You put the rope in the groove for the rubber leg that's got to go over the pinch well. And
What are you spraying on there?
And that's soapy water we spray on it so that the windshield can move if it needs to.
A little lubrication?
Yeah, just lube it a little bit. It'll
Layer back
help
in
it
place?
center itself.
Gently.
Right. And you start from the center bottom and you get that rubber lip pulled over the pinch well.
So as you pull the rope out, that rubber lip just comes over the pinch well.
Right. And this is when it's good to have a buddy help you because you want to put down pressure on that glass to make sure that everything seats down, especially as you come around those corners. As you get closer to that center, it's going to just snap in place.
So that pops out there
and you're done.
That's it?
That's sealed. It's done. That's all there is to it.
And that's all it holds it in there and everything.
The mystery of putting a windshield.
Man, I do love learning things. That doesn't look that bad.
No, it's not that difficult to do.
Even the removal's not bad. Well, what we just did, I guess we just put this
We
baby
just put
in,
the
right?
windshield in, right. This one, like I said, this has the groove in there to put your reveal molding in.
And then
Last
this-
time we did the back window.
Right.
Now, we also have a lot of other parts for that pickup.
I would expect.
Of course.
Nothing less, of course, right.
You know, in order to seal it, you need door rubber.
Door here, yeah.
You need vent window seals. And then we've also got the bumpers for under the hood and various other parts that'll seal that truck.
And not only that truck, but, you know, trucks up into the 90s and back into the 20s, and same for cars, basically, right?
Exactly. Exactly. We've got such a wide range of parts that I even have a hard time even remembering what I have
Keeping
anymore.
track of them all.
I can't keep track of them anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
if you want to learn anything more about any of the great rubber products that Steel Rubber Products makes, or how to do cool things like the windshield seals or the rear back glass seals, log on to myclassiccar.com. And you know, I think I could do this. I think I could open me a shop.
You think there's a Dennis Gage restoration
There might be one in the
shop
future. There might be.
For classic performance products, cruise over to the Speed Shop Mall at EggySpeedShop.com.
Next, we'll go back to Ocala, Florida and go for a ride in the '73 Gran Torino. Welcome back to My Classic Car.
Well, you know, it sounds like a bigger engine than a 351, actually.
Yeah, it does. It has a lot of bark.
Feels like it's got a fair amount of bite, too. Man, I like the sound of this car.
It doesn't sound great, but at the same time, it's just buttery smooth. It's got that factory balance to it, you know?
Yeah. These were they really were nice riding, nice driving cars. And you forget about it. But the 4-speed is, and it's nicely positioned too. I mean, you got the armrest here, and then your hand just drops right on it. And that still is the fun of driving a car, is shifting. The car's got an amazingly light touch and steering though for such a big, you know, a big car.
Yeah, it does. It does. It steers, and it's an enjoyable car to drive, take on trips. It rides very soft, but not too soft. You know, there's been a lot of cars that we bought, you know, 15 years ago, that at the time, my dad and I were looking at us, you know, we'd take a big swig of beer and go, okay.
Whatever.
And now in retrospect, it's like, wow, what a steal that was. And laugh at how stressed out we were and rubbing our chins and negotiating and haggling, trying to get it down as tight as we could.
And you're still in that search, basically, right? I mean, you guys are still looking for those gems.
Yes, we're trying to be pickier because we've got less and less space to put stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Building some more, and then I don't even want to think about what's going to happen after we've got that new expansion done.
Well, there's a lot of room for cars.
Room for cars.
Oh, man,
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, this really does drive beautifully. And the sound is awesome, and it's just, you really want to just punch it, you know? You really do. Well, I'm loving it.
Need parts for your classic? Then check out this week's Classic Car Marketplace.
If you're restoring a classic car or truck, Classic Industries has the largest inventory of original and reproduction parts and accessories in the business. Call 888-46-CATALOG to get the catalog of your choice, or go online to classicindustries.com and start shopping today. See why Classic Industries is America's first choice in restoration and performance parts and accessories. Steel Rubber Products supplies only the highest quality restoration rubber parts. Call for your free 600-page catalog featuring a huge selection of the rubber parts you need when you need them. Call 1-800-834-7833 or visit their website at steelrubber.com. Steel Rubber Products, your complete solution for rubber parts and weather stripping. LMC Truck has the parts and accessories you need to restore or customize your truck or SUV. Chevy, GMC, Dodge, and Ford. Order your free catalog today by calling 1-800-715-8123. Be sure to specify your year, make, and model. Or shop online at lmctruck.com. LMC Truck has the right part at the right price right now.
Still ahead, we'll check out a really wild 71 T-Bird. Welcome back to My Classic Car.
That Torino is a strong running car, like the 4-speed.
Yeah, it makes it.
And she sounds good. But Let's talk about a really wild one here. This is a 71 T-Bird.
This is a crazy car in every aspect.
It's a completely
styling,
insane
the
car.
colors, the matching interior. It was one of those cars that was just so eccentric that I was drawn to it immediately.
Now you've named this car, right?
Yes, this car's name is Huggy Bear, and I don't name cars. In fact, I've never been a fan of that.
This is the first one you've ever named, right?
But we had it at a show, and I had a big group of friends was with me, and we were just sitting in our chairs, and the car was being mobbed. You wouldn't believe how much attention the car was getting, and they were all trying to name it, but they were all using these disco themed
No, man, it's before
names.
disco. This is
way before disco. So I came up and I said, you know, it looks like the type of car that Huggy Bear would have driven. And as soon as it came out of my mouth, that was the end of that. Everybody was like, yep, the car's name is Huggy Bear. So.
Well, I'm a Thunderbird guy. I've got several of them, and I love these cars. But now, in this era, this body style started in '67, and at that point, Thunderbird got a thyroid condition. It got big. It was built on the Continental platform.
They were
right?
They started building it on the Continental Mark III platform, and yeah, it was. It's
a chopped and channeled Lincoln.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
That's what it looks like.
Right.
But you know, in '67, when this body style was launched, it was a flat front end, big, long, oval, hideaway headlights. But then in '70, I think, it was certainly in '71, it grew this beak. I mean, and that's a very Pontiac-esque beak almost.
It's Pontiac-esque, but also in the LTD and the full-size Ford line, they started introducing a smaller version of that beak.
But this is another original car. It's not particularly low mileage, but this is an unrestored car too, right?
It's totally unrestored, all original paint, all original trim, which is just amazing.
How many
on
miles?
the car. It's got over 70,000 miles on it.
Well, now also, this color is pretty wild. It's kind of
it's called
butterscotch or something.
Light yellow gold.
Okay.
And you could only get light yellow gold in 1971 on Thunderbird or Continental.
Oh, so if you wanted to look this way,
you had to have
some
money
coin,
if you
right?
wanted to look this good. So.
Now, was this a special option package too? Because this is a very wild car.
Yes, you see it's got this alligator skin vinyl
Yeah, the
roof.
genuine simulated alligator vinyl.
And this car has the special Brome package, which was an exterior and interior decor package.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that interior.
The interior
Man, this thing is
what
insane.
makes the car. It's
Absolutely.
got a matching yellow and ginger special Brome interior with this hop sack cloth. That
was big in the early '70s. Mm-hmm. I actually had a hop sack sport coat.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I don't tell many people that. But it was this kind of rough, almost burlappy feel.
And I don't know where you would go today to get yellow hop sack.
I might still have the sport coat. I don't know.
But again, in these people's travels, they did not put a mark, did not pull a thread on the carpet. The interior is absolutely brand new in it.
Yeah.
And one of those things where you just can't even believe that the factory did something that crazy.
Well, and the wraparound, I mean, look at the vinyl on the wraparound back seat. I mean, this thing, this is so cool. One of the great looks of this car, I think, is the rear end here, because this is also still very similar to the '67 when they first came out with this, but that all lights up, and it's the sequential turn signals,
it's got
right?
Sequential turn signals. It's a great. This is my favorite angle of the car. You know, when I was a kid, I always noticed these cars on the road, and I always thought that was just a dynamite look from the rear. So wide and low and sleek with that long tail light lens. It was like unlike anything else that you saw.
They really are. This would have had the 429, right?
The 429. They all came with the 429, and
Thunderjet.
It's a running car. It's surprising with all the weight how this car really gets up and
Pass anything but a gas station. Let's have a look at that Thunderjet.
All right.
You know, I don't think I would have found that hood release.
Even I forget where the releases are on some of our cars. So.
Well, so what we got here is another unrestored working engine, right?
Kind of dingy, but absolute time capsule engine compartment. And going to leave it that way. It's got all the original decals and hoses and lines on it. And
Man.
It runs and drives beautiful.
Well, we don't have time to take it to California, although I would like to. But what do we say we at least cruise it around the neighborhood?
Let's spin it around the neighborhood.
All right,
see if we can find some squirrels.
Let's go thundering.
Stay close. We'll fire up the 71 T-Bird and go for a spin.
Brought to you by Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance and by U-Coat It, the official floor coating of the Eggy Speed Shop.
Welcome back to My Classic Car.
Man, that's a lot of yellow out there in front of me. You know that the hood's kind of up there. You're kind of looking out over the hood, aren't you, on this car?
It's got a good sized crown to it.
Boy, this is a car that floats.
Yeah.
And these high back buckets are nice. They hit you just right.
Yeah, this car's real comfortable to sit in.
You know, this car doesn't lean when you corner, and that's what I always found about T-Birds. They corner so amazingly flat for these big, hulking monsters that they are. I've always loved this category of car. They're impractical in some respects, because again, I mean, they're not a huge passenger compartment and all that, but they're so distinctive. They're so sleek, in a large way, but still really sleek.
We've lost something somewhere in that everybody is so bent on rear seat practicality that just everything has 4 doors now.
You know, a big difference between this and the Gran Torino that we just got out of is, that thing, muscly stance, the exhaust burble, you can hardly hear this car.
No, it's quiet, it's low, it's sleek. With the windows up, it's very tight, doesn't have any wind noise. It's a really well built, it's a Continental.
It is a Continental in feel, and it just, there's no wander. You can feel that she's heavy, and it just goes down the road straight as an arrow. Yeah, you just float along in this baby. Oh man, you talk about a 70s flashback. The only thing that's missing is Jefferson Airplane blaring through the 8-track. But I gotta tell you, the 73 Torino and the 71 T-Bird, I'm loving it. Rick, can you come up with something this cool next time?
Absolutely. Remember your bell bottom.
I'll bring them.
Next week, we'll make our way out to Deadwood, South Dakota for Cool Deadwood Nights. This historic Old West town hosts a killer gathering of rods, customs, and classics. Plus, we'll look at the latest options for insuring your classic.
So until our next meeting, remember, honor the timeless classics. I'm Dennis Gage. Happy motoring.
Attention, My Classic Car fans. Go online now to see Dennis with his mustache down in a really cool series about motorcycle touring in spectacular locations around the world. Check out Trippin' on Two Wheels and order your DVD set today.